If you're leading a nonprofit, you know the feeling, right? That constant pressure of fundraising, the anxiety when a big grant doesn't come through. But what if there was another way? Today, we're going to dive into a super practical guide to help your organization achieve real financial freedom, and it's all based on the brilliant work of Michael Kamanzi.
Just let that question sink in for a second. What if you could spend less time chasing funding and more time actually growing your impact? What if your programs never ever had to hit pause again because of money? Look, this isn't some pipe dream. It's a real strategic possibility, and we're going to unpack exactly how it works.
And this, right here, is the core idea that changes everything. This quote from Kamanzi isn't about being ungrateful for donations. Not at all. It's about building a financial foundation that's so strong, so solid, that your vital work is protected from the ups and downs of donor funding.
So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through 5 key parts. We'll start by talking about the trap that so many nonprofits fall into. Then we'll cover the crucial mindset shift you need to make. After that, we'll get practical with 3 ideas that actually work, map out your first steps, and then we'll look at what that amazing self-funded future really looks like.
Okay, let's start with something every nonprofit leader knows deep down. We're talking about the donor dependence trap. You know, that constant feeling of instability that comes from having your entire operation hanging on the thread of outside funding. It's that awful sinking feeling in your gut when the bank account is getting low, but the needs in your community are just getting bigger. It's that moment a key donor pulls back, and suddenly you're worried about making payroll. Listen, this isn't a sign of a weak mission. It's a symptom of a fragile financial model.
To really bring this home, Kamanzi tells this powerful story of 2 schools in rural Kenya. Both were passionate, both were dedicated, but one school relied only on donors, and eventually it had to close its doors. The other one, they started a small farm, planting maize and raising chickens. That school didn't just survive, it's thriving today. The only difference between them was their financial strategy.
And that leads us to maybe the most important part of this whole thing, the shift in how you think. This is that aha moment, that revelation where we stop seeing income as a dirty word and we start seeing it for what it is, the ultimate protector of our mission.
So the old way is all about scarcity. It's constantly asking who's going to fund us, and there's this fear of looking too commercial. But the new way, this social enterprise model, is about abundance. It asks a totally different question. What assets do we already have? Things like skills or land or even just extra space. It's all about creating value and earning the dignity that comes with independence.
You should write this down. This is the mantra that just powers this whole shift. Generating your own revenue doesn't take away from your mission. It fuels it. It gives you the stability and the freedom to grow your impact way, way beyond what unpredictable donations alone could ever support. Bottom line, income is freedom for your mission.
Okay, so you've got the mindset right. Now what? What do you actually do? Let's switch gears from theory to practice and look at 3 powerful, mission-focused business ideas that real organizations are using right now to fund their work.
The cool thing is, the possibilities are huge. For instance, you could start a poultry project. I mean, think about it. That gives you a dual benefit. You get food for your own programs, and you get income from selling the rest. Or what about monetizing the skills your team already has? You could offer training or consulting. Or maybe you have a room or a hall that's just sitting empty on the weekends. That's a huge, underused asset you can rent out. And notice, the startup costs here are all low. This whole thing is designed to be accessible.
And believe me, those 3 ideas, they are just the tip of the iceberg. Kamanzi's work actually outlines more than 38 different social enterprise models that have been tested and proven by nonprofits all over the world, from Africa to Asia to Latin America, so yeah, the possibilities are pretty vast. And the results? They really speak for themselves. Organizations that have jumped in and embraced this model are now funding huge chunks of their own budgets. We're talking 60, 70, sometimes up to 90%. Just imagine the stability, the freedom that gives you. They've literally gone from asking for a handout to building their own future. So you're probably thinking, okay, I'm in, but how do I actually start? It can feel like a massive leap, for sure. But the secret is to start small and have a clear, actionable plan. Let's break down how you turn a simple idea into a sustainable business.
The framework is actually beautifully simple. First, just pick one idea. Seriously, don't try to do everything at once.
Pick the one that feels the most doable for you, right now. Then run a small pilot project. The goal here isn't profit, not yet, it's learning. You've got to document everything, what's working, what's not. And this next part is critical. Reinvest your early profits back into growing the business. Then, and only then, do you start building the systems that'll let it scale up. It's a simple process. Learn, grow, then systemize.
And look, this doesn't have to take years and years. Within just 12 months, you can go from picking an idea to slowly scaling a model that you know works. The first few months are all about research, prep, and that tiny pilot. Then you evaluate, you improve, and you only start to really scale once you've got a proven concept. It's a steady, totally manageable process.
So after you've taken these steps, where do you end up? What does this destination actually look like? Well, it's a future built on 3 amazing things: stability, dignity, and a massively amplified impact.
A sustainable future means you have predictable income every single month. It means you can actually plan for next year, not just next week. It means no more fear of donor delays. It means your programs run all year round, serving your community without interruption. It replaces that constant anxiety with the profound dignity of independence.
You know, in the end, this journey is about so much more than a new fundraising tactic. As Kimanzi says, choosing to build a sustainable organization, well, that's not just a financial strategy. It's an act of powerful, responsible leadership. It's how you ensure your mission outlives any single donor, any single grant.
So the path is clear. The tools are there for the taking. And let's be honest, the need has never been greater. You absolutely have what it takes to build a future where your mission funds itself. The only question left is, what will you build?